OK 嘅我估。
好啊。OK 啦。
可以開始咧。
OK. Okay, good morning, all former students. Welcome to our first time, our English live tutorial classes. I'm Miss Chu. Welcome you all. And before we start our lessons, I want you to go to the live chat box to type your class and your name. So where is the live chat box? So you can see here, 即時通訊 or in English, live chat box. Remember to type your class and your name here. Then we can take your attendance. Okay. And today, maybe I'll give you some time to type your name first. Alright, today there are 4 items we'll talk about in this lesson. First of all, we will introduce all the Form 1 English teachers later. And the second part, we will talk about our learning platforms. And the third part, we'll talk about the rules, whether in our YouTube lessons or in our Zoom lessons. And the last part, we'll talk about the rating of English, this subject, all right? So, although I'm wearing a mask now, but you can still look at my face. This is me. And as I told you before, my name is Miss Chu, and I live in Csjss. So do you know where Csjss is? This is located on Hong Kong Island, 香港島。我住喺太古城嘅。I'm an English teacher, and besides this, I'm also your music teacher. So I'll teach all Form 1 to Form 3 students music. And then, I think I better go here. Yes. And for my personality, I am a cheerful person. Do you know what is cheerful? That means I always smile. I'm a happy person. And I like singing and traveling. For singing, I think besides Hong Kong pop song, I also like to sing some Japanese popular music and some Korean popular music. And for traveling, I like Japan and Australia, yes. And my favorite food is steak, especially beef steak, yes, because it tastes good. But I think I need to eat less because I'm getting fatter and fatter. And I hope you all will enjoy my English lessons. Okay, next part I will give you to Mr. Lee.
So hi, I'm Mr. Lee. You can also call me Kevin. And this is me when I'm not wearing mask. Okay. So you can call me Kevin or Mr. Lee. And I live in Tsuen Wan. It's so near here, Tsjss, just across the bridge. And I'm also English teacher, which I teach all Form 1 classes. And I'm energetic, which means that I have so many energy and like to move. And I always smile, and I love sports and music. And my favorite sport is basketball, so you can also type your favorite sport in your live chat box to share with me. And I hope you all will have fun learning English this year. And now pass the time to Mr. Chen.
Alright, so good morning Form 1 students. I'm Mr. Chen. So this is me. Because you are wearing a mask, so you cannot see my face, but you can see my face here. Alright, Mr. Chen. I'm teaching 1A this year. So my name is Mr. Chen, and I also live in Tsuen Wan. That is similar to Mr. Lee. Actually, he is my neighbor. Okay, he's living next to my block. Alright, so we all teach English this year. So you are new, and I'm also new to this school. So we can have fun in English lesson together. Alright. For me, for the personality, I'm vigorous. So what means by vigorous? That means energetic. That means strong. So you can learn a new word here. Alright, I'm vigorous and I like reading, I like playing music, I like playing football and also traveling. So similar to Miss Chu, I also love to travel to Japan. So my favorite country is Japan. Okay, so what's the reason behind? That is because the landscape there are beautiful. So you can see in the previous picture here, actually the backdrop, okay, the background is Japan. All right. So have you been to Japan before, former students? Right. So I wish all former students enjoy learning English and enjoy our English lesson at this school and also throughout your learning life in this school. Right. So have fun in your English lesson. So I'll pass the time to Mr. Wong.
Hey y'all, so good morning. So like I'm your teacher, I'm Mr. Wong. Like this is me like not wearing a mask. So okay, like yeah, I'm doing this one. So okay, my name is like Mr. Wong. Like I live in Taipo, that is like maybe like 15 miles like north of here. Like 5 or 6 miles like south of the Chinese border. And I'm an English teacher at like Character St. Joseph Secondary School. Please remember this name. Like this is a school like for the next 6 years, and for some of you maybe 7 or 8. So just saying. Okay, I'm kind. That means that like I have a big heart. Like okay, I have like 3 cats, and their name is like Miyoko, Yukikase, and Harumi. And this is like this is like Miyoko, this is like Yukikase, and then like Harumi is not in the picture. But anyway, like I love going on a picnic with my 3 adorable cats. When I say adorable, that means cute, like very lovely. Yes, they are. And then like I hope you'll be kind to animals and have fun learning English with this proud cat owner. Okay, thank you. So I will just like pass the time to like Ms. Chu talk about like learning platforms.
Yeah, there are 3 learning platforms that we are going to use in the language lessons. Okay, first of all, we will use the YouTube, just like today. So you will log on to the YouTube, and then you can watch our lessons, all right? And then we will put our homework. I think today we'll upload a Google form for the first homework to your Google Classroom. And then all former students, 1A, 1B, and 1C, you can download not download, just do the homework in the Google form, and then hand it to submit to us. And I think on Thursday, the coming Thursday, we will use the Zoom. Each English class teacher will have will have this Zoom lessons with their own class. All right. And the timetable for this is for the YouTube, just like now, from 10 every Tuesday, from 10 to 10 o'clock to 10:45. All right. And for our Zoom lessons, will be on Thursday. And the time is 11 to 11:45. So class, please, on time, and be attentive in these 2 days. All right, and then next one we'll talk about the rules. I'll pass the time to Mr. Wong and Mr. Chen.
All right, so students, before we start to talk about the rules, do you still remember just now Ms. Chu talked about the platform that you have to use in these few days, all right? So can you name them? If you can just type it on the chat room, the YouTube chat room, so later we will check it to check if you are really being attentive just now, all right? So let's start then, the rules, right? So there are 6 rules in total, 6 rules that you need to follow in the coming few weeks, all right? No matter this YouTube live lesson or it's Zoom lesson, then you have to follow the rules. And some of the rules also apply in the face-to-face lesson when you come back to school, okay? So for the first one, Ms. Chu have mentioned, that is be on time, all right? So just like today, your YouTube lesson starts at 10 o'clock, then you have to come back, or you have to log in the YouTube 5 minutes before the class, 5 minutes before. So you can calculate, that means the time you have to come back, or you have to log in the YouTube, that is 9:55, right? 9:55 a.m. Okay? So that is the first rule, be on time. Okay. And then for the second one, that is get yourself ready. Okay, so what you have to prepare, Mr. Wong, please, can you show them what they have to bring when they are attending the lesson?
Okay, first like you have this one like a treasure plus, that's the textbook. But like if like we're zooming class on like a schedule, we probably don't need this book like for the time being. Just like but still, just put it aside. But like yeah, just in case. So and then we need like all these like 4 books. Like we have like distributed to you on the first like in-person like school dates. I'll like explain it to you later, like each of these books, like all 4 of them. And then have your stationery. That means like have your pen, and then if you using like a learning platform, use your iPad. All right. So okay, and then we also need like a logbook, and then that is like a blue book from your school, and then yeah. And then this is your blue book. So I know some of you does not have a blue book yet, but still you can just bring out any of your book, and then this is fine. And then this is looking at a blue book, and then you can just write your notes here. Say that if you say anything important and you think is important, and then you can just write down there. Like some important words, say that tell us the word stationery. Say that if you don't know the word stationery, just write down here. Stationery and write the Chinese definition next to it, like mangai. So yeah, these are your friends in your online lessons. All right.
So thank you, Mr. Wong. So former students, I think you, now you know what you have to prepare. So if you don't have the blue logbook yet, all right, then you can prepare your own paper now. Okay, put down the words that you don't know. Just now we introduced ourselves. You learned some new words like energetic, like vigorous, like adorable. If you don't know the meaning, just copy it down and put down the Chinese meaning. And then later, maybe tonight or tomorrow, and then you do the revision. Okay, just to learn the word that we just taught or we just mentioned. All right. So this is the second rule. Get yourself ready. Okay. If there is no any problem, then I'm going to introduce the third rule. Okay. That is turn on the camera and also to mute the microphone. Actually, this rule you can do it when you are having Zoom lesson. So former students, when are you going to have the Zoom lesson? Right, that's Thursday. All right, remember Thursday you're going to have your Zoom lesson. So when you get into the Zoom, the Zoom classroom, you have to turn on the camera so that to make sure that we teachers can see your face. At the same time, we teachers are going to to turn on our camera so that you can see our face also. All right, but other than the camera, you have to mute your microphone because at the time, when you are having the Zoom lesson, we are going to talk, we are going to teach. So that you have to mute your microphone unless we are asking you to answer the question, or unless you want to answer, or you have any question that you are going to ask us, then you can turn on your microphone. All right? Of course, you have to ask for the teacher's permission. All right? So, and then mute yourself and listen when another person is talking. All right? No matter it's the teacher or your classmates is answering the question, please keep silent. All right? And please make sure that your microphone is muted. Otherwise, maybe you are staying at home, maybe your parents are talking to you, then you are going, you may be disturbing others. All right. So make sure that every equipment or just like the microphone, you have to mute it. All right, when other is talking. Okay, this is the third rule. And then the fourth one, that's about your manner. Okay. Please, Mr. Wong, can you show our students how to keep a proper manner when they are having lesson? No matter it's in YouTube, in Zoom, or in face-to-face lesson.
Can you just
tune down a bit? Alright, so students, please look at Mr. Wong.
So, now you have your learning material right here. Maybe an iPad or a computer, whatever that is, and then make sure you sit straight and sit properly, and that would be nice. And make sure that the camera here can see your face. Of course, in this case, you don't have to put on your mask at home. All right, and you have all your needed materials, books and everything, and then these books, and then you have your notebook, and then you have your stationery, to write down all the important things. Say that Miss Chen, you mentioned about the mute microphone. I'll just tentatively write it down. That is a proper way. I don't want to see you guys not wearing any shirts or even laying down like this. I know it's early morning. No, but this is a big no, not acceptable a dress manner for Zoom lessons. All right. So make sure you just look like us, sit straight, properly, have everything ready. So
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Wong. Because you are having YouTube live lesson and also you are having Zoom lesson at home, so it's okay for you to wearing a T-shirt or any other proper shirt, all right? But when you when you come back to school, of course, especially if you are a boy, please dress properly and tie your shirt at school, all right? So that's the warm reminder for you. Okay, so dress properly and sit upright at your desk when you are having Zoom lesson, YouTube lesson, or even face-to-face lesson when you come back to school. Okay, so, and then the fifth rule, the fifth one, all right? Let's take turns. So what you have to do, that is to raise your hand to speak and also type in the chat room. If you have any question just like now, if you have any question that you would like to ask the teachers, you may just leave your message in the chat room. And when you are having Zoom lesson, that is a function, that's to raise your hand. And actually, I think this practice you have been practicing at your primary school. Whenever you have question, you have to raise your hand, and then wait until the teacher say, okay, maybe you are Peter, maybe you are Betty. Okay, Peter, please answer the question. Then, yes, then you can go ahead. All right. So this is a very general rule that you may apply, no matter it's in Zoom lesson, YouTube lesson, or face-to-face lesson. All right. So take turns. Of course, when no matter if your classmate is asking question or the teacher is speaking, of course you have to be respectful. Okay, show your respect to the speaker. Okay, so that's the thing. The fifth rule. Hope you can follow this. And then, last but not least, the sixth rule is coming. Okay, participate. Okay, you have to respond to the teachers. Just like now. Okay, how many rules that we teachers are introducing to you? Okay, if you know the answer, of course you can raise your hand, or you know the answer, you can be active. You can just put down the answer, just like now. You can simply type, okay, in the keyboard and then type in the chat room to answer us. Of course, after the lesson, we will check it to see, which student is quite hardworking to answer. Quite active or quite hardworking and attentive enough to answer our question. Okay, participate in the lesson. Okay. So whenever the teacher they have question to ask you, then be brave. Okay, even it's in English. All right. So it's okay that you give a wrong answer. Okay, be brave, because if you make if you make a wrong answer, that's okay, because then the next time you avoid it. Okay, you won't repeat the mistake that you made. Okay, so that's all about the rules. So hope you can follow. So just now, at this moment, please answer my question. Okay, a little quiz here. What platform are you going to use in the coming days? That is the part that Ms. Chu introduced. All right. And then the second question is, how many rules are there in total that we introduced? Okay, I will show you again. Okay.
Give them, I think.
Okay, maybe I give you 2 minutes or 1 minute?
2
How many minutes? Okay, maybe 2 minutes. All right. So spend your time to answer the question. Okay, and then for the next part, I'll pass it to Mr. Wong. All right. So make good use of these 2 minutes to answer the question. We will check it. Alright, students, seemingly you forgot the question, so I'm going to repeat it once again. Okay, so for the first question that you have to answer, that is, which platforms are we going to use in the following weeks? For the online teaching. Alright, there are 3 in total. Okay, this is a hint. And then the second question is that, how many rules are there in total? Okay, that we introduced just now. Of course, if you are smart enough or you are attentive enough, then you can, other than you give me the number of how many rules are there in total, you can also tell me what are the contents. Okay, so what are the rules? All right, so just leave your answer in the chat room. Okay, the function that Ms. Chu just taught you. All right, so give you another 1 minute maybe.
好，咁頭先咧，陳 Sir 咧就問咗2條問題嘅，咁我喺個 chat room 嗰度咧就見到啲同學我唔明你問乜嘢喎，咁我哋而家咧就講一次啦。第一條咧就係 Which three platforms are we going to use in the online English lessons？ 有邊3個嘅 platform 中文叫做平台咧，我哋會用嘅。咁同我哋喺個 chat box 嗰度打啦。And the question 2, how many rules are we going to use in English lessons, whether online or face-to-face lessons？ 我哋究竟上英文堂嘅時候有幾多個嘅一啲嘅規矩，你哋同學係需要知道嘅咧？頭先講咗個喎，咁再俾多少少時間大家睇下，將你嘅答案打喺個 chat box 度就得啦。有啊 ，good 啊，不如講先。好，有啲同學都做得好好咯喎，有 Zoom 啦，有 YouTube 係咪啊？OK， 加油，各位同學，繼續答問題喎。
Okay, so like the first question was about like how many rules, right? So we can count, and if we don't can count, we can see it right here, like 6 rules right here. Be on time. Log in like 5 minutes before class. So today we start class at like 10 o'clock, and that means that you'll be here at 9:55, right? Just like go on your YouTube at 9:55. What about tomorrow? So what time do we have a Zoom lesson tomorrow? Any like answers?
I want to answer, sir.
Yes, please.
We
Yes.
don't have any English lesson tomorrow.
Alright, we supposed to have like on Thursday. Yes, that was trick question. Okay, and then like yeah. So like we have like a English lesson on like 11. So like 5 minutes before class, that means that like 10:55. Because like you have to be invited to get on it. If you're late to class, you will be disturbed. Okay. Just like a random like a quick thing, so you saw that Miss Chu just like pop over her hand, like raise her hands. Okay, that's like related to like this question. Okay, so last time I had my like a Zoom lesson, like a online lesson with you guys. Like I actually saw some of you like raise a hand like on the camera. No, like don't do that like in front of the camera. I can't see you sometimes. Or I don't know like what are you doing, like you're stretching or something. Like there's a raise hand button. I'm not like asking you like to raise hand like in front of the camera. Like that will work. So okay. Alright, so like now we got like these two like colorism. Like get ready, have your textbook, logbook and stationery. Just quick question. How many notebooks do we have? Do you remember? How many notebooks? We have 4 books, so like all 4 of these I'll like show you a little more. Remember, 4 books. Just like bring these 4 books, your logbooks, and your stationery. All right. So and now we got like okay, mute yourself. That means that like I hope that I don't hear you like playing some like Ethan Chen music at the back, or like you just like playing video games at the back. Like mute your microphone. All right, and pay attention to the class. Like dress properly and sit upright, alright? So now like in response to teacher, like now we already covered, that means that when the teacher asks the question, you're supposed to answer, just like you just did. Like soon it's like answer on the comment as well. Alright, so now like we got all the response to teacher, like now like and yeah, and if you have questions like in Zoom lesson or here, you can always type in the chat box, especially in YouTube lesson. And then like we have a fleet of like English teacher like help us like to solve your question or trying to like explain it to you in Chinese if this is like if necessary. Yeah, you have to like respond to the teacher. All right, response. I don't want to like when I do my Zoom lesson, I don't want to be like the same as my YouTube lesson. Just go on and on talking about my thing, and you guys like when even like pay attention or is not unresponsive. So remember, response to your teacher. Now you got all these 6 rules, and we come back to like other like questions. How many like platform like online e-learning like platform do we have? How many? We count 1, we count 2, and then like we have the third one. So okay, YouTube we doing right now, and then like Zoom we are doing on Thursday like your online lesson like on Thursday morning, and then Google Classroom is the one that way you can get all your homework. We taught you like how to access to your Google Classroom like multiple times, like one from like a S1 like parents night, and then like we have like on actually like a face-to-face lesson on like 1st of September, and then like you should be able to go onto the Google Classroom and access to your question. Just like for like today's homework, like just a preview, we are going to it's going to be a set of questions about like asking some of the infos of our teachers. So I hope that like you have your logbook and write down some important information. And in case, just in case you don't, like you can always go back to YouTube and watch today's lecture again and again and again. So yeah, this one is like unlimited view, not unlike Zoom. So make sure like if you don't understand or if you want to like learn it again at a different time, you can always use like YouTube like looking back and help you. Alright, so remember YouTube, Google Classroom, and Zoom, like all 3 like major platform. Alright, so now we are going to talk about the weightings. Like this is like probably some of the most important thing that like we want to know. Cause this is like how your marks and everything is like calculated. That means that your marks, say that like if you want to get 80 marks in your like overall exam, like how you do, like over 100 of course. Alright, so this is just for first term, and then like we have the exam. Okay, maybe this one is like slightly easier, and then like we have the examination 30%, like that's like a first time only. That means that like it like is added up to like 45 like that, and then the other 55 is in the second term, right? This is come from your examination. Then you have like 4 papers, and you have the like SBA thing. So and then like all these examination like make up like 30% of the marks, and your exam is supposed to due on January 2021. That's the examination. Alright, and we also have continuous assessment. This one is like added up to like 15%, alright? And then like this 15% come with your daily classwork. Say that like your homework, mostly actually, and your dictation. Say that like yeah, homework I mean that like your online homework, your writing, I'll explain a little bit more in your like yeah. Okay, and yeah, and then like we have like homework. You have your like online homework. You have your dictation. You have like a quiz, like unit quiz. We'll explain it a little bit more like in the Zoom one. Okay, and for the second term, like second term is like slightly different. So we mentioned it's like 55, right? And the other 10 come from the uniform test. That is supposed to be on March 8th, March, yes, 2021. So other than like the same like continuous assessment, the same like a format of like examination, you have this uniform test that is like basically a reading test only. So this like cover 10% of like that extra like in second term. So I just ask you again. So like about like continuous assessment. Okay, do you remember like what kind of like material do we cover in the continuous assessment? I just mentioned now is your time to practice the rule that we mentioned, like the 6th rule, the one that talk about response. So how about like type some of the things that like we mentioned in the continuous assessment? I want to see it in like your chat box, all right? I'll be looking at your chat box. So, see any response? Any response? You remember like the continuous assessment? I just mentioned it to you. Now is your chance to respond to your teacher, all right? No response? That's sad. No response so far? Well, what did we talk about, like the rules about like these Zoom lessons and YouTube lessons? Response to your teacher, remember? Alright, so continuous assessment, talk about like that's like dictation, that's your writing, and your unit quiz. And then like for this one, because like we cannot like decide, like because different classes slightly different, so we explain it to you like a little bit more when we have our like a Zoom lesson. Now, like each class, how many dictation do we need? These part are the continuous assessment. All right, all right. So, like okay, this is like this like 5 categories of like the continuous assessment like allocation, and then like yeah, dictation, writing, homework that like on class performance and quiz, and then like these one like 5 major elements, alright? So, and then because like you probably just remember type the name, you don't really know like what does it mean to you. Maybe like we have like face-to-face like lessons, and then I can actually bring you like all of these like learning materials, and you know. So, dictation, writing, homework, so that means that like each of your online homework counts. So, make sure you do your online homework like attentively and on time. I know some of you like maybe some of you are new here, and some of you like already like admitted into this school like last year. I know some of you like said like, oh, I don't know how to turn in the homework. Okay, this is not the excuse, because like we have like so many times repeatedly tell you about the homework like you need to do, how you do your online homework on your like Google like platform, Google Classroom platform. So I really hope that like homework, and then like although we talk, and this is like a class performance part. Performance means 表現. So when you respond to your teacher, that say something, right? Like oh, teacher remember you, or like David Wu. Oh wow, like you always like answer your questions, so, and then like that counts as like class performance. That means that like you participate, you really enjoy the class, and that would just say something about like how we are going to grade you, like rank you. So say that like oh, like Mary. Like she answered, like she always raise her hand and like answer the teacher's question, or like asking like a different interesting question, or even like maybe say that in a group project, so like she's always the most helpful one, helping her classmate. That would count as a like class performance. And for the minor part, say that like if you have your teacher, and then like that would be towards like some part of like the class performance. So this part contains 20%. And then like you think about it, like 20% or like 15, that like say a lot about like whether you pass or fail the exam, right? Okay, lastly, this is the quiz. The quiz is like a unit quiz, so basically after each unit, we have a quiz for you. And then like sometimes it's like mostly such vocabulary one, and then like we have like a little bit about like other material, say that like irregular work table, and then like this part contain like 20% of your continuous assessment, and I'm all right, I'm sorry, yeah, and then like 20%, and then like this is important about this is very important towards your continuous assessment. So I hope that you can all remember basically everything you turn in or anything you do in this class means something. I don't want you just like pay attention like only study in your in exam time. I hope that you study like every day. So because like these homework and on are important. All right. So just like a question like asking like remember like how many percent that is like on first term and second term. First term is how many points? Remember? Now is the time to like be to respond to teacher, and this is the time that you earn your class performance marks. All right, this is like 20% like in the stick. Remember? Okay. Now is the time like to show like you have participated in these online class. Remember, like first term, like the weighting. What is it? It's 2 digit. 2 digit. Remember 2 digit. Any response?
Not yet.
Wow.
Give them some time.
Okay, so if you guys need like need to think about it, like just saying like today's like for your logbook thing.
Oh, someone said 15.
15. Oh no, 15 is only the continuous assessment,
Yes.
like only this whole one, and then like 15 is the continuous assessment. The whole term is first term, 45, 55. All right. So and then like I haven't announced today's homework, and actually one of the today's homework other than answering questions about like teachers, the 10 questions, we also need to use this one, logbook. Okay, so if you don't have like this book, just use any like a notebook and it's fine. And today's homework is to write down the CA mark, alright? Like these CA mark like we just talked you about, you have to like write it like in your logbook. Say like 20% writing. You don't have to like draw this bubble. If you can, it'd be nice. But if you can't, like just like write down like the percentage of each like section carries. 我用中文搞一次，我驚你哋唔明，好似大家都唔得，係啦。好，今日嘅功課除咗嗰10條問題咧，我哋之後咧就會喺 Google Drive 見到之後咧，我哋仲要喺呢個 notebook 嗰度就寫低呢個 weighting 嘅，即係15% 加30%呢個要寫低佢，呢個15加10加30都要寫翻低佢 ，continuous assessment uniform test， 再寫埋 continuous allocation 呢5個項目，呢個就係你哋今日嘅其中一份功課。到時咧呢個 notebook 咧寫好之後，你影低張相佢，然後就 upload 上去 Google Classroom 嗰度，係啦。有冇問題？呢部分明唔明白 ？Google Classroom upload 上去，我俾10秒你啊，9秒啊。
Someone said okay.
Okay, so now we already talked about like all these like weighting. Now we talk about all the books we need. So I'll just quickly show you earlier like about this book. This is your textbook. Like you don't really need it right now until I ask you to bring it. I don't think we will need it like not until like October. 我哋基本上唔使用呢本書住嘅，我哋大概可能10月先要用，咁到時咧係完咗我哋啲online lesson 啦，到你真係上堂嘅時候，真人上堂先有機會開呢本書嘅啫，所以暫時唔使用住。Alright, and then I want to show you like how to recognize these books, cause like and I talk about these books, we always like maybe mix up. So it's like for homework. So today's like also like actually not today, like tomorrow, like say homework. We need to use one of the books called The Bridge, right here. So this is like the bridge one. Okay, I hope you like recognize like cause like this year, last year your student like complain about like it's like not recognizable for each. So this time I make it very like clear about like on the type font. You see that like this type font, this is the bridge, and then we're supposed to turn in like homework from the bridge like on Thursday, I believe. Okay, so this is the bridge. Just remember, like you just write it like on the board in the middle, all right? And then like this one is the class one is link. Okay, the bridge is like a really simple, easy, like something that you're supposed to learn or remember like from your primary. So it's just a quick revision. So like we won't really like teach them in class. But like if you have a question, like you can always like we assign you to do it, and you like snap a picture, post it on the internet. And if we say that like if you have any questions about like these, you can always raise it at Zoom lesson or like anywhere else like YouTube where I know like you have question about. And this is the link up like this is the one that like we will actually like teach you as Zoom lesson. We will say like turn to page 5 of the link up, and when the student talk, the teacher talk about link up, you know it's this book. You see that like the front cover, yeah, this one, link up. All right. Okay, and these two are the phonic workbooks. Phonic workbooks. All right. So like like starting from like next week like we have like about like 10 to 15 minutes like at the end of our YouTube lesson, and we will talk about like phonics, and then like we make sure you bring these two books to your YouTube lesson next week. Like we need to do that like next week. So like in this like phonics like you probably know like some of these we learn about like this alphabet, and we know like how to pronounce it like individually, but we need to learn like how to like put them together. And then you know when you see some word that you don't know, say that like you don't know the word treasure, the first word like here, and then like through phonics, and then we'll piece it up together even if you've never seen this word before. You can make some assumption. It's like, okay, T, R, so like what's the T like sound make? And then like you see, there's like a consonant here. We can just like make some assumption how this one is like pronounced. These are your 4 major like workbook for your online class suspension period. So yeah. Bring these two to your class like your online lesson like especially like and then we will need to work on this one, these ones. All right. So like what's the time to shoot?
Okay, former students. So today we talk about these 4 items. Yes, there are 4 English teachers in Form 1, okay? It's true, Mr. Lee, Mr. Wong, and then Mr. Chan. And then we know the learning platform, 即係我哋用啲乜嘢嘅平台啦去學英文啦 ，okay? And also the third one, we know the rules, the 6 rules. And if you don't know, you can look at the YouTube again. 我哋今日都講咗啲嘅規矩啦。咁同學，如果譬如你真係，我覺得我哋頭先成堂講英文有啲唔係好明嘅話咧，唔緊要。咁你上 YouTube 咧可以睇多幾次，再唔明嘅話咧，可以喺星期4嘅 Zoom 嘅 lesson 嗰度咧，各個英文老師都可以再同大家再解釋嘅，唔使擔心。And the last part， 最尾啦，會 talk about weighting， 就講緊呢一個每一個嘅上學期嗰個嘅分數嘅分佈啦。咁一樣同學如果唔明嘅話咧，都可以咧喺 Zoom 嗰度咧再問翻我哋嘅。咁喺記得今日咧會有功課嘅喎，咁同學記住一陣咧要上 Google Classroom 嗰度咧去揾翻今日大家要做嘅功課。咁我哋今日就係咁多啦，咁好啦 ，See you Thursday，拜拜。